All right, here we go. Game number 1 of this best of 5. Spawning up at the top left for the Shopify Rebellion, it is ByuN in the red. And his opponent spawning down in the bottom right, playing damn fine StarCraft right now. It is the blue Protoss player, Classic. Classic currently teamless, and I've got to say, if any team picked him up for the World Team League, he would be a really powerful addition to any of the teams at this point. We're going to be seeing double gas opener from the ByuN, by the way. ByuN, he has been skipping Scout like every game in this matchup, and it looks like Classic might have intentions. Is he trying to punish this? No. He just checked around for a potential proxy. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be, I think, a standard opener from Classic just with a Scout. I was wondering if he might actually drop a pylon and a second gateway to try and punish ByuN's play. But I have seen ByuN actually defend that. He's defended a proxied second gateway. Oh, he gets the surround on the probe. Execute. First blood. Now, this is still a scout, but oh, that's such a nice mental win when you catch that first probe. And I love that. I love that ByuN goes for that because it's telling Classic, don't do that. You are not allowed to do that. Classic, by the way, there's a reason this is good. First of all, it denies the scout. Second of all, not just denies the scout, it tells Classic don't do that again. It denies the scout on the barracks. The barracks was over in this position. Now, obviously, I can't show you that it was there, but Classic started up a Zealot. He built a Zealot. He's looking around everywhere for this, and he actually moves the Zealot out of position as the Reaper gets in, and this Reaper will drop an ice grenade. Stalker did pop out in time. And funnily enough, okay, does the Reaper actually see the Zealot? No, it doesn't. So this could actually be... No, it won't be any problem here for ByuN. It was a quick reactor from ByuN, so he builds the command center on the high ground for safety. Oh, Stalker. Okay, will not be able to get the kill. Reaper does get up to the high ground here. But, I mean, Classic, if he moves up with the Zealot Stalker, this could be a little bit of a nuisance. No, there's a second Widowmine on the way. First Widowmine should kill the Zealot. Unless, of course, Classic is sloppy. If Classic gets distracted by the Reaper on the other side of the map, which he just might, he might end up moving into that Widowmine. I'm watching the other side of the map. Looks like that's not going to happen. ByuN, oh, we'll get into the main base. Oh, the Stalker is going to run into the Widowmine. That's huge. So exactly as the prophecy foretold. That is a really nice find. Now the Widowmine, oh, will unburrow and will stay alive. He does get mind dragged. That's totally fine. ByuN, 2 unit kills with the 2 Widowmines. They're going to come back off cooldown by the time this Widowmine drop moves across the map. And the Reaper stays alive after picking off a probe. What a ludicrously good start for ByuN. And to make it even better for ByuN, he scouted the Stargate. So he actually will not go for the Widowmine. Wait, actually, hang on. Did he? Oh, he's... Okay. He's still going for it. I mean, he doesn't know that it's Phoenix. Reaper is going to get into the natural. Will be able to grab... Oh, he gets another probe. Now, the Phoenix is... There's 2 of them here, but with 3 mines, he won't be able to lift all of them. Oh. Cheeky third mine kind of being hidden here. Oh, he hits the Adept. That was best case scenario by far for Classic, and that puts him right back in the game, in my opinion. Did lose another probe, but he doesn't lose any probes to the actual mines. Only 1 mine fired. Why did ByuN go in there when he scouted the Stargate? The only thing I can think of is maybe he didn't click it. But, yeah, that puts Classic right back in this game. And I would say pretty much even. Now, he did force a probe pull. And Classic actually was a little bit slow to putting those probes back to work, but that's totally fine for the cost of 3 mines and the War Prism for just 1 Adept. Ooh, nice job with the Phoenixes. Breaks the Cyclone's lock on. ByuN does go for the Raven into this Phoenix play. And to be honest, I'm normally not a big fan of that because the Ravens, they die so quickly to the Phoenixes. But the way the Korean Protosses play Phoenix Colossus is they go for 3 Phoenixes and then cut Phoenix production for a really long time, which makes sniping a Raven very difficult to do. Now, Classic, if he moved to the left, he would have killed that Raven. Oh, he caught a glimpse of it for just a second, but didn't want to commit in, and I don't blame him. But if you lose a Phoenix and you kill that Raven, it is so worth. So worth. In terms of cost, it's pretty close to neutral. But in terms of value, it is a huge pickoff. Now, that's really nice from Classic, by the way. He's able to pick off an SCV and lifts the Cyclone to break the lock-on. Only takes 3 hull damage on one of the Phoenixes. Does cost him an extra lift, but certainly worthwhile. Ooh, now if Classic can dive the Raven, this time he is going to go for it, and this time he will get the kill and doesn't lose anything. Even grabs another SCV on the way through. Great move from Classic. ByuN getting caught, getting punished. And this is why I'm not particularly enthused about going Raven. Now, granted, ByuN left it exposed, but this was only 3 Phoenixes, and he still gets the snipe. That is a potentially game-breaking moment there. The TSN turning point, if I may. Now, if ByuN manages to get fully unloaded in this main base, and Classic doesn't have his units in position, which he doesn't, this could be devastating. Will he insta-recall the Colossus? Yes, he does. And I think that might be the correct call. Oh, no, he only recalled one of the Colossus. The second one coming in from the top side. Phoenix, ooh, almost getting sniped. Classic keeping it alive for a little bit, but he wanted the damage on the medevacs. And if he can get that one medevac, it would be huge, but he won't be able to get it. Is forced back. Meanwhile, there is another Bioforce moving forward on the top side. But Classic with a high ground advantage. And just a couple of Stalkers does pick off a Marauder. Does he have enough to deal with this? If he pops Guardian Shield, still probably wouldn't. But the Colossus is going to show back up. Classic will survive a very scary moment. Extremely scary, with honestly pretty minimal losses. Where is... Oh, he lost a couple of pylons too. Yeah, two pylons and a shield battery went down at some point. Double upgrades coming in for Classic and Charge. ByuN still has the initiative and still has a lot of bio, and now his +1 weapons is finishing. But Classic didn't build a 3rd Colossus during all this, so he's only got the 2 Colossus for now. And that's a lot of Marauders on the field. 10 Marauders. What is that? 8 Marauders on this left side. Barely any Marines, actually. Ooh, good scout from Classic. Sees how the army split is shaping up. That scan almost gets the Phoenix. Knocks it down to just 4 HP. Will turn it into a bit of a paperweight at this point, though. Classic still struggling to keep on top of his opponent's army, but he does get on top of this army on the top side. Okay, I think after forcing that back, may want to bring the Colossus over to the main army, but he's got his 3rd Colossus out, and Extended Thermal Lance is done. Classic's heading into the mid game now in a great position. Once that 1-1 and Charge come online, actually, hang on. He's not building probes. He's building a lot of gateways. The 2nd robotics facility makes me think he's not going to be super aggressive here. But he is going to get a War Prism. Yeah, he's got a bit of a timing right now to try and make something happen. ByuN, for his side, is fully saturated on 3 bases. No gases on the way. And no 2nd engineering bay, no armory. He is a player that plays oftentimes relatively low or relatively late upgrades, especially with the 2-2. Oh, that scan barely catches the Observer. Good job from ByuN. There's that 2-2 for Classic and Blink. And he does have the 4th Nexus on the way, and he starts pro production. So maybe he just wanted to cut units a little bit in order to give himself a little bit more oomph for a potential attack. Man, I gotta say, Classics has played such a great shutdown game so far. Ooh, Vikings moving out of position to deal with a War Prism as it moves up to the top side. And there are 8 gateways online. Phoenixes, look at the spread on these Phoenixes, by the way. And Classic saves it too. Very quick reaction time. Colossus at the top of the ramp. I mean, there's only 2. This is not enough. Disruptors are going to start to join up. Nice force fields. Disruptor shot. Ooh, will get dodged. 2nd one. Oh, kind of whiffs, actually. Battery overcharge is going to come on in. Where is the third Colossus? It is not in position. This is a ton of bio, but the battery overcharge really keeping these Colossi alive. Vikings not focus firing the second Colossus, and the third Colossus shows up. Just Zealot's getting it on top of the tank, but it's not quite enough. The Zealot warp it on the other side of the map, but the Zealot drop did get 5 SCVs, but it's not going to be enough here. 2 Disruptors are about to hit the field, but they might just be a little bit too late. Disruptor shots! Oh, that was a nice hot pickup from ByuN. And that is actually going to be enough for ByuN to take this one down. If those 2 Disruptors were 10 seconds earlier, Classic almost certainly holds, but instead, ByuN barely gets in. And it will take the 1-0 lead. All right, here we go. Game number 2. Spawning down in the bottom left for the Shopify Rebellion. Unrelenting in his aggression. It is ByuN. In the red. And his opponent almost able to make it happen. But not quite. In the top right, it is Classic. In the blue. And I was focusing a lot on Classic and what he was doing in that game. But make no mistake, ByuN was still playing that very well. He was so on his opponent. Absolutely unrelenting in his aggression. Classic, things were going in his favor. They were starting to go really well for him. But he hadn't run away with the game by any stretch. And not having the third Colossus with his army, not recognizing that ByuN went for the big attack all balled up at once, and not quite having the Disruptor count that he needed, really cost him there. And I think when the Phoenixes spotted the army of ByuN, I think that's when Classic needed to bring everything together. And if he does so, and then fights, instead of fighting kind of separated off, I think that's a drastically different game. Still, very cool setup, and I'm still on the Classic hype train, and I still think he's playing really well. But online ByuN is one of the best players to ever touch the game. You know, like, he is so damn good when he is in his comfort zone. Now we are going to be seeing one Rax expand from ByuN, and it's going to be Marine Reactor from him. Once again, no SCV scout. ByuN just doesn't SCV scout in this matchup anymore. Just doesn't happen. Classic, we are going to see Zealot sneaking around the map. The thing is, even though ByuN doesn't scout, he's still difficult to predict in this matchup in general. But with a Zealot coming out, double Chrono Boost on the first 2 Adepts, and ByuN not building a bunker, this is a little bit dangerous for ByuN. First 2 Marines are on the way. Classic will wait for this Adept, as he should. Okay, ByuN, good job pulling back from the natural, knowing the timing of when this Adept is going to show up, but will still be a tough situation for him. The 2 Marines pop out, and the Zealot gets on top of one of them right away. Very effective couple of swipes from these Zealots. Oh my goodness, he actually kills all 3 Marines, and the Adept trying to, well, the Hellion trying to outmaneuver the Adept, and it does manage to do so. Zealot should just go into the mineral line. Just go into the mineral line, do what you can. SCV at the natural, looks like it was picked off here. Zealot, ooh, does get on top of one of the Marines, and the Hellion was actually shooting the factory for a little bit. That is super costly, cost him 1 Marine and a little bit of extra damage on the other. Yeah, it's 4 Marines, and a little bit of lost mining time for a Zealot and an Adept. In the cost, it does actually favor ByuN, but I think in the context of the game, I like it a little bit better for Classic, because he's able to keep his opponent's SCVs off the natural. Now, if he loses this third Adept, or second Adept, third Gateway unit, then I actually like it for ByuN. But, oh, look at this. He gets another shot on the Marine, and now it's an Oracle for the follow-up. Now I love it for Classic here. And this is going to be at least 2 dead SCVs in the natural. Might even get the third. Actually, he's going to kill the Marines as well. 2 more Marines do pop out. Classic. Oh, no, he's going too deep. Oh, he can't. What? 3 HP. Those 2 Marines ambushed him so hard, and I thought for sure that was going to be a disaster. Oh my god, everything going well for Classic in this game. Everything going well. The Phoenixes pop out. It was Cloaked Banshee started up for ByuN, but as he sees the Phoenixes of his opponent, he realizes he can't do this. And now Classic is running away with this game. It will be Raven once again, but this time there's like no Marines on the field to cover it against these Phoenixes. And even with 5 Marines and a Cyclone, I feel like Classic might... Oh, does he want to move in here? With the Cyclone a little bit out of position and the Oracle still alive, yeah, he's going to go for it. He picks off 3 Marines instantly. No bunker. I think this is the end of the game right here. We're going to see the Raven getting instantly taken out. The Oracle does go down. And with the Marines coming out and a good Cyclone lock on this might be enough to keep ByuN alive. But here we go. We see a lift on the Cyclone. Repair is going to be enough. Very quick repair from ByuN. That will save this Cyclone and will allow ByuN to stabilize. Man, that repair was actually huge. I still like this position for Classic, though. He's got a 3rd Nexus nearly done. He did go for the Jugular, so he didn't get any SCVs, and he did lose the Oracle, which means no Revelation. But he's got a 3rd base nearly done. He's got Colossus Tech on the field. Honestly, he's in a position with all the damage he's done that he might be able to walk across the map with this first Colossus and put on a little bit of pressure. However, ByuN does have a 3rd CC done now. And that means economically, he is still in a good spot. Nice double lock-on onto one of those Phoenixes. It's 3 SCVs, but losing a Phoenix for that is not cheap. In the context of the game, I think it's actually still decent for both players. Classic's going to be happy to extend his economic lead. ByuN's going to be happy to pick off a Phoenix and not have to deal with those as much. ByuN does get another Raven, by the way. Classic was on the verge of winning this game at a couple of moments, but ByuN micros his way through it, and now he's got the double NG Bay as well. Doing the 3CC play off of 111 is such a good economic build, but I definitely do still like Classic's position, especially with the very quick Forge and Twilight Council. And Extended Thermal Lance is going to be coming on in. Classic, will he start up that 3rd Colossus right away? Would like to see it. Ooh, Raven. Oh, he's going to dive it. It's going to cost him... Oh, it might cost him 2 Phoenixes. Yes, it does. I'm not as enthused about that trade. Especially because there's tanks on the way for ByuN, and he's going reasonably tank heavy. If there was a timing, if it was a 3-1-1, and you snipe that 2nd Raven, then I'm a little bit more excited about it. But 2 Phoenixes for a Raven... Yeah, I don't know. I'm less excited about that. I still think it's okay trade, but in the context of the game, it's not as valuable as sniping that Raven when, you know, you're only... Your linchpin of your defense is 2 Colossus, and you won't have the 3rd out. You won't have Extended Thermal Lance. You know your opponent's going to run at you with, you know, 35 supply of +1 bio. Oh, well, that's a bit of an oopsie. Guardian Shield accidentally getting popped. He definitely wanted to use a hallucination there, right? Had to have been a hallucination that he intended to pop. He for sure didn't want Guardian Shield. Classic is going to get into 2-1 upgrades. Is there an armory yet for ByuN? No, there is not. So he will not be able to extend his upgrade lead. And does he even want to is the big question. He does have gases on the 3rd base, which means he's probably going to continue forward in this game, unlike the previous game where he went for a very dedicated 1-1 Ghost push. But there's the Ghost Academy. Still no sign of an armory or 2nd engineering bay. Oh, that was an observer? Yes, it was. Missile turret, super value. Oh, that's a great spotter Marine here. With the siege tanks for ByuN, I don't think I like the idea of a push in here, especially with combat shields. I mean, if combat shields wasn't done, that would actually be really scary for ByuN. But ByuN is up in upgrades. Classic, as long as he pokes and doesn't go too deep, I really like this. And yeah, he can poke away from out of range of the tanks. Just use the Colossi. He is... Oh, okay. He initially tried to use charge lots to retarget on the backline tanks. He's going to go in for this anyways. The Colossus hitting supply depot is not what you want at all. That was a really unfortunate skirmish. 20 Zealots just went down. It was the Warpin in the main base that tried to open things up, and now the War Prism is dead. Only 5 SCVs go down. Classic really trying to find an opening that just was not there. And ByuN takes an incredibly cost-efficient defense and is now, he's now, I would say, in a really strong position to maybe just run Classic over. What does Classic have for him? He's still got these 3 Colossus. He does have 2 Disruptors and 2 more about to pop out. Well, 1 more about to pop out, a 3rd one on the way. Oop, lift on the siege tanks will come on in. Disruptor shot does get a good connection, and the Archons are going to be quite handy. Especially, I think all the Ghosts actually went down. Yeah, they did. So there's no EMPs left to deal with these Archons. And just now, 1 more Ghost in production. So these Archons are going to be valuable for a little bit. Does he have battery overcharge? Ooh, nice Disruptor shot. Will take down, well, we'll get a tank low, but I think he loses a Disruptor behind it. Archon's going to be so good against these Marauders in the front. And is there a Widow Mine? No, there are no Widow Mines. So a Phoenix lift on one of these tanks is going to be super good. Would love to see another lift onto this tank, but he's actually just going to overpower this position. ByuN losing those Ghosts at the outset allowed those Archons to be so effective in the fight. And Classic will hold. Now ByuN starts up his 2-2. But Classic is now right back ahead in this game. 5th Nexus on the way. He kept all of his economy alive, was untouched in that regard. ByuN just now landing his 4th. And it is triple Robo Disruptor. I wouldn't mind actually with only 2 Vikings on the field for now and no Vikings being produced and pretty much all the tanks going down. I wouldn't mind going up to 4 Colossus at this point. But ByuN is adding Vikings back in. He is going for more siege tanks. A little Zealot run by on the left side will get found by ByuN, and I think he snipes down, snipes 2 of the Zealots, getting 3 in total. Now, Snipes in this position, I actually really don't like the use of them because he really needs the EMPs to deal with those Archons. But, well, actually, no. All the Archons were killed and they were never rebuilt. Oh, this is one of those situations where if he knew that there was no Ghost and he knew that ByuN wasn't building them, he would go into more Archons most likely. But I'm fine with him not, because those Archons, yeah, Classic is far enough ahead, I think. Not even far enough ahead. He's in a good enough position that you don't want to go for a situation where your opponent can kind of counter it. As I say that, he does add 2 more Archons. Which, I mean, 2 to 4 Archons is still decent. ByuN, 2-2 not yet done. Oh, I do like these missile turrets to try and deal with a flyby of a War Prism. Zealots are going to set up for a big run by here, and they're going to go into the natural very soon. Yeah, I don't think Classic can attack into this position. Not yet. Well, Classic going to warp it into the main base. Going to maybe deny the 4th command center. We will see a big attack at the front. Disruptor shots trying to reach the tank in the back, but not going to be able to do so. And 2 more Disruptor shots also not reaching that, so the tank's getting a lot of value. Classic will cancel the 5th command center, and he did manage to hit before his opponent's 2-2 came online. But this was still a very sturdy defense from ByuN. And the War Prism went down. A Phoenix went down. Not that they... Actually, at this point, you do want to trade out the Phoenixes. Yeah, especially with Blink done. Yeah, there's no reason to go for more of these Phoenixes. Classic on 91 probes, by the way. Altitude is a map that is really strong defensively. Ooh, ByuN is out of position. This is a great usage of the Phoenixes. And now the Disruptors are able to get this 1 siege tank. Not going to be enough repair to keep this base alive. 12 SCVs fall. And Classic finally finds the opening. ByuN didn't have his army placed well enough. He needed to be constantly scanning, I think, there to keep track of Classic's army. And now ByuN is kind of in a bit of a desperation scenario where he has to get something done to Classic. Man, this is so many Disruptors. 12 Disruptors right now. And there's no Liberators on the field. 5 Marauders at a time. Disruptor shots are going to get dodged initially, but 3 more come through. More come in from the flank. They will get denied. And, I mean, Classic actually does need to get out of here. He's getting some good trades, but his Disruptor shots are almost all depleted. Oh, that could have been a huge Disruptor shot. still was decent, but ByuN will get the cleanup on this. All the disruptors just about go down. Classic with a massive overcommitment, but is he just too far ahead at this point? Big Zealot warp in with upgrade advantage will get in on top of some of these bio units, and a warp in the main base might just be the backbreaker here. Classic, 40 workers up, is going to even the series at 1 apiece. GG gets called. What a game number 2. Classic looks so good right now. And here we go. Game number 3. Spawning up at the top right for the Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And his opponent. Spawning down on the bottom left. It is the blue Protoss player, Classic. Now, of course, making the correct decision in these situations, in these highly chaotic situations, is always tough. But I think if ByuN had gone for the 4th base and maybe scanned a little bit more aggressively with his army after Classic was a little bit overly aggressive into him, you know, when ByuN had that 3 ghost timing, I think it might have been a drastically different game there. Of course, mistakes do happen, and they are difficult to avoid. And especially in a game of imperfect information. We always talk about that. StarCraft 2 is a game of imperfect information. Still, yeah, that could have been a drastically different scenario. We are going to see Classic once again checking in on this location, just saying, hey, you're not proxy raxing me, are you? And the answer is no. Classic will just move on forward here with the probe. But yeah, Classic is looking ludicrously good at this point. I am just so impressed by what I've seen from him. ByuN, though, I'm thoroughly impressed that he was able to clear out as many disruptors as he did. Classic, though, at that point had already knocked out the 4th base and had already crippled the economy of ByuN. And ByuN just didn't have as much tech. He didn't have the Mass Liberator to deal with the Mass Disruptor. He didn't have the Ghosts. And Classic was just unrelenting in the aggression. Like, he got the warp-ins in the main. There was also a moment, even after ByuN did that push, where he was holding on 4 bases pretty effectively, but he just had his defenses cracked open a little bit. And once that happens, Protoss can oftentimes just run away with the game, and that's exactly what we saw. But these two players are playing very strong StarCraft right now. Make no mistake, will be a Stargate opener once again from Classic. Now, if ByuN goes for the 1-1-1 once again and goes for this Raven, he's got to keep it alive. If he's going to go Raven, like, you have to keep it alive. Even in game number 2, where it was a more costly trade for the second Raven, he still had killed that first Raven for a very cost-efficient setup. Adept does know that there's going to be, or well, Classic knows that there's going to be 2 more Marines and a Hellion likely popping on out. And ByuN, oh, he's able to get actually a couple of important shots on that Adept before it shades back out. And now we see an SCV repairing up this one Hellion. Oh, Classic, this is not the move. Does manage to find 2 Marines there. He might just lose this Adept. Actually, I think he will. It's going to be a little bit close. 2 more shots. Wow, with the second Hellion. Actually, seeing that second Hellion is actually a pretty big tell. I would have liked to have seen ByuN not reveal it. Even if it means that Adept gets away. Knowing that it's going to be Hellions here, it's a very different push with 3 Hellions and a Marine drop than, you know, 1 Hellion. Because 1 Hellion can be a double Winnamine drop behind this. But with this setup, now he knows that pretty much everything's going across the map. And yeah, Classic, we can see right here, he's already shading his Adepts back to deal with this. Does lose 1 probe on the 3rd base, but the Oracle... Ooh, nice liftoff on one of those Marines to get it out of the fight. Classic is going to lose a lot of probes in the natural, though. A lot of probes in the natural. And here's the danger of this 2-prong. The probes are all lining up. Ooh, nice split from Classic, but he's still going to take a lot of damage from this. And this has absolutely been a successful attack from ByuN. 13 probes go down. Classic initially defended this well in the main base. He's going to get 2 more probes. This Hellion on 1 HP takes down 2 more orange HP probes. Yeah, this has been a wildly successful attack. And he even forces a Phoenix lift. Classic is... Oh, Classic is in a horrible position now. Yeah, this is a really tough spot. What can Classic do to try and claw his way back? He does have a decent army right now. 5 Adepts and a couple of Phoenixes. If he can jump these Marines... Oh, he will actually catch them. Kind of body blocks them into the corner. Nice lift on the Cyclone. Gets that out of the fight. Oracle adding on a lot of DPS. This is exactly what ByuN Classic needed. But... Ooh, can he get the lift on the Cyclone? He does, but the repair is so good again. And now Classic not going to be able to kill this Cyclone. He will get the Raven on the way out. Ooh, there's a couple low HP SCVs. Does get 2 of them. That is a nice job from Classic. Gets 5 SCVs, equalizes the worker count. But I mean, we say this every time. Mules. Mules are not the great equalizer. They are the great unequalizer. And it is important to note that the Oracle went alive. That's 2 games in a row where a clutch... Oh, no! Mules! Why were these mules here? Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay. Well, I was just going to say, that's 2 games in a row where a clutch Cyclone repair was a big shift in momentum or a big moment for ByuN. In Game 2, it keeps him alive. In Game 3, it keeps him ahead. Now, there is going to be a bit of a Phoenix tax paid, as my pal Sal likes to say. Up a tree. Twitch.tv/up a tree. Yeah. Going to pay a little bit of a Phoenix tax, and that will allow Classic to scrape and claw a small advantage once again. Now, ByuN has gone for the second Raven again. And Classic is not in a position. Ironically, this is a position where he needs to sack the Phoenixes for the Raven more, but it's also a position where he can't afford to as much as game number 2. And that's a lot of Marauders already. 6 Marauders. It's going to be 8 by the time this attack comes out. Ooh, if he gets the lift on these Widow Mines, would be really nice. He does have the energy. That 4th Phoenix showing up at the perfect moment. Without that, it would have been a really scary situation. And he's actually going to grab another Marauder here as well. Checks on where the Cyclone is. Oh my god, how is he still in lock-on range? That's... Wow, that was like right at the edge. Ooh, Raven almost goes down coincidentally. Okay, now you dive the Raven. You dive the Raven with this low HP Phoenix for sure. Oh, Raven. Okay, does get 1 Interference Matrix. Loses 2 Phoenixes. Colossus will go down. Battery Overcharge not able to save that, and the Extended Thermal Lance was not done in time. I do like that Classic moved out with the Colossus to try and force that Raven's Interference Matrix out, but it's unfortunate that the timing was just before Extended Thermal Lance came online, so the Colossus went just a little bit too far forward. ByuN almost lost the Raven just beforehand. That would have been a huge shift in momentum. Still, there is a second Colossus out. Battery Overcharge not available. We are going to see a lift on a couple of Widow Mines. And good spreads from ByuN, but the Marauders... Oh, nice target fire from Classic. Targeting the Marines down, which means the Phoenixes can lift these Marauders. Beautiful engagement from Classic, and he takes down the Widow Mine on the rally. That was a perfect defense. You never see Protoss players targeting down Marines in the backline like that. Oh, that was a picture-perfect engagement from Classic. And these Colossus, 9 and 10 kills in just that fight. And now, Classic, 1-1 upgrades on the way. He's got that Twilight Council online, starts up the charge. I am blown away by how well Classic is playing right now. Classic is a man on fire. And ByuN, I mean, he's playing really well, but Classic is answering everything he's doing. Phoenixes are going to come into the natural again. We'll grab another couple of SCVs. And there's that Ghost Academy coming on in. But Classic might have a razor-thin timing. If he chronos 1-1 and charge very aggressively, he might have a razor-thin timing where he can hit with a bunch of Colossi. Well, 3 Colossi, a bunch of charge lots, the couple of Phoenixes he has left over, and 1/1 and charge before the Ghosts hit the field. And primarily a couple of Archons as well, because he's got that Templar Archives. But it looks like the Ghosts, ByuN, he's so good about starting those Ghosts as soon as the Ghost Academy comes online. He prioritizes them over everything. ByuN even getting actually pretty brutally supply blocked here, but making sure he's keeping that Ghost production up. ByuN does have his gases online at the third base now as well, but even if Classic doesn't attack and doesn't go for this big push that I'm talking about, he's still in a good position right now, for sure. Ooh, doesn't want to lose these Phoenixes, though. Does lose one. Nice quick stim from ByuN on the punish. Oh, and that's a lot of Vikings here. That is actually a frightening number of Vikings to see, especially after losing one of the Phoenixes already. Oh man, there's no vision in the bottom right of ByuN's base. We are seeing a big commitment to Vikings. Yeah, this is basically an all-in from ByuN. He is not building SCVs. He's not building additional upgrades. Ooh, Disruptor shot. If he fires it out now. Oh, does still get a couple of Marines. If Classic had fired that blind, which you can't blame him for not, because you want vision, but if he could have fired that blind, he would have gotten a huge hit on his opponent's army. Still, Vikings are hitting the Phoenixes, which is not what you want them to be hitting. Colossus will be healed up by the battery overcharge, and that means they are going to town on this army of ByuN. Disruptor shot gets all the Ghosts, and Classic will withstand the onslaught of ByuN and takes the 2-1 lead. Classic is playing out of his damn mind. All right, here we go. Game number 4, spawning up at the top right for the Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN in the red. And his opponent spawning down in the bottom left, playing magnificent StarCraft right now. It is the blue Protoss player, Classic. Man, this was so impressive from Classic. ByuN really hitting hard with that attack, and Classic doing everything correctly to deal with it. Everything correctly. Obviously, the Disruptor shots could have been even bigger, but it was still such an impressive hold there from Classic. ByuN his aggression is so strong. And that Ghost Viking timing, really powerful. Classic, though, I mean, he is just covering all of his bases. All of his bases at this point. ByuN is going to go for the 1 Rax expand. I wonder if he's going to cancel the Marine to try and get this down, but the probe is going to go back down to the natural expansion early enough to prevent the early command center. So ByuN knows better than to cancel that Marine in this situation, because the probe is, of course, going to stay on top of this location. Classic will force this to be really late right now. And I like this move, actually. I like this move a lot from ByuN, because he knows that he is already a little bit late, and he knows he's going to get the probe. He's gotten a decent bit of damage from the SCV. He actually fakes Classic out a little bit. Classic didn't get into the main base far enough to see the gases, so he doesn't know that this is not a 2-gas play. Now, chances are there would be a depot here, but it could be here.
Glory to the
This is a nice little counter move from ByuN to keep Classic in the dark, because now Classic, if he moves out onto the map with the Adept, it's a little bit dangerous. A little bit dangerous. He could be running into, 2-gas opener. But the thing is, he knows it was a Marine. I think he stuck around on... No, he didn't get high enough on the high ground to see that it was a reactor. Classic will still shade forward, and he will actually kill off this Marine. Oh, does it get to the high ground? Oh, it barely does. Nice job from ByuN. ByuN trying to bait Classic in. Classic, oh, he's trapped now, actually. Yeah, not going to shade forward. Will do a little bit of extra damage to these 2 Marines. And that means that this Oracle follow-up, similar to game number 2, could be quite strong. Classic going to shade forward once more. There is a medevac on the way, And the Marines will pull back against this secondary Adept. Classic, ooh, able to pick off 2 of these Marines and will shade... Wait, did he shade in or out? Yeah, he shaded out, right? Yes. Oh. ByuN will force the Oracle to reveal itself and to use its Pulsar Beam. That's a win for ByuN already, actually. The fact that the Oracle wasn't able to get across the map and try and find something. ByuN, he's going to move out. Wait, what? He's moving out with 4 Marines and a Cyclone? I think he's going hunting, actually. I think he's going hunting for his opponent's army. No, he's actually going for the drop. Oh, well, no, it was a hunt. Okay. Ooh, Oracle does take a lot of damage, but will get saved. However, this is still going to be a good little find here from ByuN. Can he kill off this Adept? I think... Yes, just barely gets it before the Adept Shade. But the Oracle bypasses everything, goes straight into the natural, straight into the main. Unfortunately for Classic, runs out of energy just as he was about to kill that 4th SCV. Still, getting 3 SCVs is nice. However, he's now down. Well, I mean, he's up 12 workers. Can ByuN get anything done with his counterattack? He needs to. I love that Classic has gone for the Immortal here, and he's reinforcing this pylon with a secondary one. Cyclone's Lock-On going to take out the Adept very quickly. And this pylon might fall, but no, it will get saved by the Phoenix Lift. Ooh, one of the Phoenixes does fall. Immortal is going to pop out and will be able to truck these Cyclones, but a very quick hot pickup from ByuN will save them both. However, that means he needs to abandon the Marines, and this is going to be still a super successful hold for Classic. And I think with this, I think he can cancel that Immortal and just take his 3rd Nexus right away. But, I mean, he may as well make use of it. He's already got it mostly done. Cyclone in the main base. Oh, it's going to be able to take down the Oracle. That's quite nice. Oracle did deny this 3rd command center for a little bit. Oh, he actually built 3 Cyclones. Yeah, we need to see a repair. Maybe Classic was hoping to hit... No, he didn't even rally the 2nd Immortal forward. Oh, this is a bold move. And the Immortal getting Interference Matrix. Such a smart play from ByuN right there. Raven will get killed off. Oh, Immortal. Okay, it's going to get recalled. That is... Okay, that's the first time I've ever seen that. The Immortal's barrier activated while the recall is going off. It made this, like, cool blue effect on the Immortal. Very neat. Classic does overextend there a little bit, and it kind of gets bopped on the nose a little bit. But he still gets the Raven. Not worth it. Not even remotely worth it. A very bold overcommitment. And I maybe didn't anticipate the 3rd Cyclone. He certainly didn't anticipate that Interference Matrix, which was a very clever play from ByuN. And now I don't know if Classic can hold this 3rd Nexus. It's going to be really difficult to do so. But keeping the shield battery alive is going to help out a lot. ByuN, though, oh, he's got a lot of units that are really going to struggle against Immortals. So I kind of appreciate that he's chilling out a little bit, especially because he's gone for a very quick 3rd CC, so there's not a ton of power behind this. ByuN did not start up combat shields, by the way. There we go, just now gets it. But actually, no, it's not going to interfere with his timing, really, because his 1-1 is going to be... Actually, it's going to time out kind of perfectly with the 1-1. It's just that his stim is a lot faster. You don't want to fight without the 1-1 stim combat shields anyways in this particular situation. That's your big power spike where they all come online. But, I mean, having the stim faster is just good. It's just a good thing. So the combat shield isn't late. It's that the stim is super early. Now, Classic... Maybe, you know what? He probably just saw the super fast 3rd CC, and he goes for his own double forge. I think this was reactive. I'm not 100% sure. I would have to go back and look at it, but regardless, it is a great way to play against this, because you stay even with the Terran upgrades, and in fact, he's actually even going to be able to be a little bit faster with those because of the faster upgrades for Protoss, especially with the ability to Chrono Boost. Now, there is just the 1 robotics facility on the field for now. And there's only 2 Colossus. He hasn't yet started up the 3rd. He's actually getting a Warp Prism first and the 2nd robotics facility. I think I would like to see that 3rd Colossus. I think that's a pretty important priority, but feels like ByuN really doesn't want to attack. These Cyclones were good in the early game, but they're not gonna transition particularly well. So I really wish that ByuN could have taken down this shield battery, because I think he could have gotten a lot done with just constantly dancing back and forth with the Cyclones. But it shows a lot of respect to Classic that he didn't try that. Ooh, Phoenixes. How many was that? Was that... Oh, that was one and an Observer. Now, Zealots are going to slip by on the other side of the map. ByuN did not build an armory, so he is going heavy on the aggression here. Charge going to complete at the perfect moment. These Zealots skating into his opponent's units. And I said the Cyclones wouldn't provide much value, but they're actually helping out a lot here. I kind of like that he kept them on the defense. There is an attack on the other side of the map. Classic will be able to still get some very good trades with these Zealots. And he actually is going to win this little skirmish. Marauder does get cleaned up. This last one will go down, but the reinforcements are going to deal with this. ByuN just wanting to focus on this while this happens. However, that means Classic gets closer and closer to 2-2. 8 SCVs went down. Disruptors are being added into the mix, and more disruptors is a good thing for Classic. ByuN is adding on Liberators. He is not rebuilding SCVs. He's not getting that armory. He is super committed to this attack. Oh, Classic. Oh, so close to seeing it, but not quite. And actually, this might just turn into a huge base trade. Ooh, that probe is good. 2-2. Oh, if he can get 2-2, that would be huge. Classic going to move back. No recall coming into the main base. And he will actually finish the 2-2. We are going to see 2 of the gateways getting killed off. Actually, he's going to get all 4 gateways and both pylons. The Colossus! Okay, well, ByuN didn't know where the rest of the army was, so I don't blame him for not jumping on that. And even if he had, might not have actually been an opportunity. This probe from Classic is the MVP. Should build a statue to that probe. Classic does still get supply block here. Ooh, ByuN gonna juke back in, but he goes directly over a pylon. Oh, he's gonna unload here. Now there's no Blink and no Phoenixes to punish this. Look at this. 3-3 is on the way for Classic. ByuN starts up his armory as he admits this game is not gonna end anytime soon, unless it's him throwing his army into Classic and losing it all. ByuN does still have a big army supply lead, and killing those gateways did impact the production, but 2-2 is very good, and we do see the Zealots getting on top of this army. There is a little bit too much bio for ByuN here for Classic to fully clean this up. A Disruptor shot gets a great connection. Another one gets a huge attack here, huge connection. Disruptor shots do barely get dodged. And there's a massive amount of overstimming going on for ByuN, but the Liberators are in such a good spot. Battery Overcharge not going to be able to keep these Archons alive. The Siege tanks in the back doing a lot of damage. Disruptor shot will get one of the tanks, softens up 2 more, and the Immortals coming to clean this up. Liberators going to absolutely rain hellfire from above. Freedom reigns, and it is Liberators. There's only 2 Colossus, 3 Disruptors, a Phoenix, and a Zealot, and there is still so much power in this army for ByuN. Classic rushing the engagement. ByuN able to get a lot done here with this army. He's going to try and flank. This is Classic, and the upgrade lead, will it be enough? Disruptors going to clear out one of the tanks, gets the second one, and gets a Marauder as well. But there is too much ByuN, too many Liberators, and ByuN will even the series at 2 apiece. Oh my God, that was amazing. All right, here we go. Game number 5. Spawning up at the top left for the Shopify Rebellion, it is ByuN in the blue. And his opponent spawning down in the bottom right for himself. It is the blue Protoss player, Classic. How fun would it be if units had voice lines that they could say after like a big fight, similar to like Overwatch? Like if the Liberators were like, "Justice reigns from above," or the Disruptors were like just like a loud whooshing sound, like a sun exploding, like whoosh. We kind of already have it a little bit, but yeah. And yeah, the only games I ever put on my YouTube are games like this. And it might seem impossible, but I cover enough StarCraft and enough high-level StarCraft that I do see games like this very, I would say very frequently, enough to keep the YouTube in well supplied. By the way, Classic, game number 5, first time in the series, delayed probe scout, and a gate nexus. I love it. I love it. ByuN has not gone for any aggression early game. And Classic's like, okay, I'm going to punish that a little bit. Now, ByuN, he does go for the 1 Rax expand, and he cuts the Marine for a little while to get the faster command center. This is a little optimization that a few Terran players have done. I think ByuN has done it a lot. Cure's done it a little bit, but it's just such a nice little play. Now, Classic, he is not only going to go for this, I think he's going for a proxy Oracle. Yeah, Stargate coming on down. Delays the Warp Gate. And I mean, ByuN has been playing this in such a way that he has barely held these Oracles from Classic. So if Classic gets an Oracle that's 10 or 20 seconds earlier, and in this case, it's going to be probably about 15 seconds earlier. Actually, maybe even more than that, because he's still got a close route to the main base. Babylon is a reasonably short map, but this is still pretty close, while being difficult to scout. I actually really love this proxy Stargate location in the context of pro play. And Classic has been aggressive with his Adepts every time. This time, though, because his Adept was a little bit later, ByuN is going to be able to jump on this, and the Marines will not take any damage. So this proxy Oracle, while it still has potential, not necessarily going to be able to get as much done as the regular Oracles of the previous games in the series. We are going to see this Oracle coming on in. ByuN, of course, not going to expect a proxy Oracle, because this is not a build that happens very often. But Classic will be able to get in here. ByuN needs to respond instantly, and he does very quick. Classic, oh man, he only gets 1 SCV so far. Great micro with the Oracle. He gets 1 SCV, 1 Marine. Cyclone's about to pop out. We will see a second SCV going down. Oh, the MVP Marine, Steph Curry, with the drop down, the paratroop drop into the snipe. That is a huge pickoff there. Where is the second Cyclone? Okay, he puts it close to the mineral line. Best place would be right in the mineral line, because you have to assume there is going to be a second Oracle coming. Oh, look at that tight Oracle micro, but Cyclones are extremely good once they get their lock on. He puts a lot of damage into that Oracle, only loses 1 SCV. It's still an 11 worker lead, but Classic is going to have a devil of a time dealing with this drop, especially because he doesn't see it coming. This could be like 10 dead probes. Classic will pull right away, so that's going to mitigate the damage already. It's only going to be 3 probes. That's not bad at all. ByuN might elect to just fight this, though, and yeah, he does. Ooh, almost gets that Stalker, but it will be a nice save from Classic. Probes. Oh, he snipes down 1 more, but Classic... Man, Classic is so quick on the reactions. Went down. He was ready to pull the probes, basically, in response to this. Ooh, there's only 1 pylon powering this Gateway and Twilight Council. And that will get depowered. We do see the army coming back to the natural, but Classic doesn't have enough to defend the natural and the main. Probes are going to get pulled, so he will deal with the main base. Wants to kill this medevac, but he is taking a lot of damage here in the natural. 10 probes going down. ByuN is now miles ahead in this game. And Classic, he's only got 6 Stalkers. That's his army. And we've got Cloak done for ByuN. Looks like, yeah, the Oracle went down somewhere. Must have went down on the retreat, which means there's no detection, which means the follow-up Cloaked Banshee is going to be so strong, and it's going to be even stronger than normal, because Classic is never going to want to build shield batteries in response to what his opponent's doing. Oh, this Cloaked Banshee this could actually just cause GG. We are going to see so many probes falling. ByuN splitting his fire up to get the most optimization. Now, ByuN is actually respecting Classic so much, he assumes there's just going to be detection very soon. But there's not. Maybe he didn't even notice that he killed that Oracle. It is entirely possible that he got it on the rally, and he's expecting it to come back. Only 5 probes going down so far is not bad at all. And, oh, there was no shield battery made immediately in the natural, so he's actually still going to take down more of these units. ByuN, he is going to run out of Oracle energy, or not Oracle, Banshee energy. But he will still find another couple probes. Banshee at the 3rd base. This is already so much value for ByuN. 12 probes, and will get a 13th, killing that probe through the shield battery. And now the Banshee sets up in a position that the Stalkers can't hit it. Behind all this, ByuN, 3rd CC done. Stim on the way, 1-1 on the way. This is such a massive lead for ByuN. Classic will need a miracle to have any chance of coming back in this game. And I don't know what Classic can do. He's even on workers, but he's got no tech. Not well. He's way behind in tech. He's got Blink, no charge on the way. Just now getting a decent gateway count. Just now adding on 4 more gateways. Doesn't have a Templar Archives. Doesn't have Colossi. Doesn't have anything going for him. Revelation will finally find this Banshee, but even building the Phoenix is not ideal. Oh, how many? Did he just lose a Stalker or anything? No. Stasis Ward does get revealed by the Raven. Classic. He's going to be able to abuse the fact that there's no stim. He finds 4 Marines, make it 5. Very nice Stalker micro. But killing 5 Marines, that's not enough. He needs to kill like 20 Marines for free in order to equalize this game. And even then, I'm not even sure that I would call that equal with the upgrades being so good for ByuN. ByuN's armory is late, so he won't, like, that's a small little mistake that's going to cost him a little bit. Oh, blink forward into the natural. Stim and combat shield's not yet done. Oh man, can he actually find Stim? If he can find the upgrades, nope, Stim's going to finish. And so is 1-1. Classic needs to, he needs to recall right now. He is going to, but he doesn't actually get all the Stalkers. ByuN will get a, he will take some damage, but the number of Stalkers that went down for this already makes this not worthwhile. 7 Stalkers in the Phoenix for 3 Marines, 4 SCVs, as we do actually see the Oracle. Oh, very nice job with the Raven interference matrix. I like that Classic went for the move. He needed to do something wild and bold. And he actually, oh man, that's a lot of Zealots here on the top side. But ByuN can just go back home to deal with this. Classic, oh, he cannot take this fight. He needs to retreat. This is 1-1 versus 0-0 for the moment. Classic, though, does create enough chaos to snipe 2 medevacs. And that means the stim that ByuN just did with basically his whole army is very expensive. And 15 SCVs just went down. Classic, hello? He's still behind in this game by all accounts, but that was a great little maneuver. And ByuN, I think he just thought he could march across the map to victory, and I don't blame him if that's what he did think. Actually, it is 1-1 versus 1-1. This is a lot more even than it looks, but anti-armor missile and big Widowmine shots are going to wipe out almost all of Classic's army. He got ByuN out of position the one time, and even with the anti-armor missile hitting a lot of ByuN's own army, I mean, those units never actually really got touched. Whereas the Zealots that were hit were kind of obliterated. And now Classic goes for the second robotics facility and the robotics bay. If he had just threatened with this army and never engaged, easier said than done, for sure. Babylon is not a wide open map by any stretch. Ooh, the blink forward. I mean, this time, I don't think recall is available. So he's going to need to get out of here. Meanwhile, Zealots trying to find an opening onto the 3rd base, but this time ByuN is wise to the moves of Classic. It was a really solid idea from Classic to go for this, but it will not get the job done. ByuN was just way too far ahead. Classic was in desperation mode. If Classic had chilled out after he killed all the SCVs at the 3rd, and just threatened counterattacks and then went up to either double Colossus production or double Disruptor production, there's a real chance he could get something done. And even now, Classic is stressing ByuN out. That's a surprising amount of friendly fire on these Widow Mines. Classic, taking down these 2 mines. He's really being a huge nuisance. And if he can just distract And these disruptors get like, I don't know, this whole army. Classic will still be down 60 armies, or like 40 army supply, 30 army supply. But it'd be impressive. Classic has already impressed me more than I can say with this game. Oh, and there's the disruptor shot. Almost gets the job done, but he only gets the 5 kills. He needed 25. And even now, another 2 disruptors pop out, but will not get the job done. This one, it only gets 2 Marauders. Good split from ByuN. And ByuN comes back home. He finishes up his 2-2 as the fight begins. Disruptor shot will get dodged again by ByuN. Classic really did everything humanly possible to try and make it happen in this game. But ByuN is too damn good to lose a lead like that. And Classic will have no choice but to tap out. ByuN takes down an epic series 3-2. Man, these guys are so good. And thank you very much for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like and subscribe button. Tell us in the chat why you love watching the best players in the world duke it out. And thank you very much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. I am Steadfast, signing off. See you on the flip side.